Imagine a city of skyscrapers that stand towering over the landscape, made not of steel or glass but mud and straw. A city standing tall for more than 500 years. Shibam, Yemen is often called the Manhattan of the desert. How was this architectural wonder built? And why was it built in such an extraordinary way? Unwrap the mystery of Shibam, the world's oldest skyscraper city. Shibam in the Hadramaut region of Yemen dates at least to the 3rd century AD. And what distinguishes it is the completely anomalous architecture, hundreds of mud brick high-rises crammed into a tiny walled area. The buildings, some reaching as high as 11 stories, date back at least to the 16th century. But here's the catch: these are not just ancient vestiges. Shibam is a living city where about 7,000 people live today. It appears as a fantastic landscape at the very first view. However, it is about a survivalist tale of Shibam surviving through innovation in this stern desert. Human spirit has proved creative indeed in taking the challenges set before it regarding the setting. So why did the people of Shibam decide to build vertically centuries before modern skyscrapers were even conceptualized? The answer lies in a combination of necessity, geography, and ingenuity. Shibam sits at the heart of Wadi Hadramaut, a valley that is quite prone to flash floods that often come without a warning of rain. In making it tall and clustering behind a fortified wall, they ended up minimizing the footprint of the city, keeping away the flood waters from the city and saving the arable lands for agriculture. Imagine the mayhem, all life and livelihood gone in one sweep by a flash flood. To build vertically is a very clever solution. The compact vertical design also made the city easier to defend against raids. At a time of tribal conflict, Shibam's towering walls and narrow streets presented natural barriers through which invaders were difficult to move and attack in a coordinated way. Mud brick was the readiest material on offer in the region. Piling these bricks high would let architects squeeze out as much utility as possible from scarce resources and heighten the wall so it keeps interiors cooler than the desert outside. This was more than survival but an environmental coup de grace well before it had a name. The practical reasons behind Shibam's design now at our disposal. Let's take a look at some of the theories that have surrounded its mystery. Some historians believe that architecture in Shibam had been formed by older civilizations such as Mesopotamia, known for its ziggurats. No direct linkage has been shown, but how interesting to reflect on how the knowledge of building architecture might travel across regions, blurring traditions with innovations. During the spice and incense trade heyday, Shibam was an important stop on the trade routes. Its skyscraping buildings may have served more than practical purposes. Perhaps they were meant to be a declaration, an expression of the city's affluence and importance to merchants on their way. Recent studies indicate that Shibam may have grown upwards vertically as a way of coping with environmental challenges. As desertification advanced and the resources in it dwindled, maximizing space inside the city would be imperative to their survival. There must also be an interesting social aspect. This close living environment within the towering buildings must have developed a very strong sense of community. This vertical living was more than just about architecture. It defined the social tissue of the city too and made Shibam a very vibrant, interdependent society. While Shibam's design has stood up to the sands of time, it is presently facing the ultimate tests. Mud brick structures require plastering consistently, and because the city is cut off from the access to the resources, preservation has become a problem. Every few years, each one of these buildings has to be replastered with mud so that the rain and erosion do not make them crumble into history. Political instability in Yemen also exposes the UNESCO World Heritage Site to danger. Conflict has made it difficult to work on preservation efforts and even caused some parts of the city to get damaged in the process. Despite these challenges, the communities and international agencies have not rested on their oars to protect Shibam's heritage. Some projects include training locals in traditional building techniques so that local generations may become accustomed to building skills to maintain the city. Shibam is more than a town, it is a symbol of human imagination and perseverance. Its mud brick skyscrapers stretch skyward from the horizon between ancient and modern, reminding one that something sustainable and innovative has not been anything new but something that has always been with us. And it's also a very poignant reminder of how fragile our cultural heritage can be. In fact, Shibam's survival actually depends not just on its architectural strength but also on the commitment of people worldwide to protect it. As we stroll through Shibam, a wonder of the Arabian Peninsula built over 600 years ago, we may ask ourselves, how can this ancient city give lessons in respect for nature to us who inhabit our glass and steel world? Can Shibam influence the way in which we construct not just for us but for our children and the children of those children?